The annual Christmas celebrations at Temple Trees was held last evening. The event was held under the auspices of Archbishop of Colombo, His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjith. Those who attended the event were welcomed by First Lady Shiranti Rajapaksa. The Mass was conducted by Reverend Father Benedict Joseph. Christmas carols were sung in all three languages, and a number of politicians and devotees were present at the event. United National Party parliamentarian Ravi Karnanayaka, speaking at an event in Colombo, commented on the impeachment motion against the Chief Justice.
We did not bring in this impeachment motion. They say that the UNP wanted it to be brought in. If the government is doing what the opposition wants, then we will fall on our knees and say not to suppress the judiciary in the country. We want this to be withdrawn because everything in it is false. 14 charges have been presented. 11 of the charges were not investigated. If 3 charges can be investigated in 24 hours, the country does not need a CID, police or the judiciary. Parliamentarian Ravi Karnanayaka expressed these views at an event held to distribute books for the Akram Foundation.
Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Sajid Premadasa, says that those affected by the heavy showers need relief, not media shows.
At a time when the affected people have been left with next to nothing, the ministers who have been put in charge of providing relief are holding media briefings saying that this much was allocated to each area and that money has been sent to the divisional secretariats. But when you step into the relief camps, we find out that none of this relief has reached them. A function was held to donate monetary funds to the Sri Shaila Ramapurana Viharaya in Galdenia under the Sasanata Aruna program.
Unidentified lights, red rains, yellow rains have become a topic of discussion these days. What are the scientific explanations behind these incidents? News First took a closer look.
Correspondent stated that a type of a solid material which is not familiar to walks has fallen to an abandoned paddy field in the Adipahayala area in Suryawava. Over the past few days, News First reported to you on unidentified lights which were seen in several parts of the island. Residents of the Hambegamwa settlement have seen several unidentified lights at around 8 p.m. on Thursday. This is the light which was seen above the Hambantota area last night.
There was much hype surrounding the 21st of December 2012 and the end of the world with the alignment of the planets in our solar system. However, in an exclusive interview with News First Nadeem Majid, senior research scientist at NASA Dr. Sarath Gunapala, who has worked on all of the Mars rover projects, said that the alignment is of no significance.
A lot of phenomenons that were experienced in Sri Lanka in the run up to this so-called end of the Mayan calendar fueled this hype. The red rains, lights, strange lights in the sky. Now you had an opportunity to look at some of these lights earlier in the day we were showing you. What are your views on these strange lights that were seen?
It's definitely asteroids falling into Earth's gravity and entering the atmosphere. I have seen that video. It clearly shows asteroid and meteor is entering to Earth, and you can see from that video at the beginning it has a green color plasma developed, and then that plasma glowing to a purple color or so, and towards the end you could see it's a red and then it white and burning off with the tail. So that's a normal process.
A lot of these talk about the end of the world and the 21st 21/12/12. A lot of that came about because of this so-called planetary alignment that is supposedly happening. Now, is this planetary alignment actually happening?
Oh yeah, the planetary alignment happen into certain degree all the time. all the time, I mean not every month or anything like that. Sometimes in 20-30 years some alignment happen. It depends how many planets are going to be aligned. And NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory, our center, did a mission called Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, and that was actually taken into that whole thing into account during the mission design, and it was a flyby, a spacecraft. And that time they knew in late 70s the outermost gas giants, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, all 4 planets going to be aligned. So if you send a one flyby satellite, it can investigate all 4 satellites, all 4 planets in one shot. So that we use for our advantage.
Incidents of unidentified lights reported from several areas. 27th of November 2012, Chilau. 30th of November 2012, Dirtalav. 5th of December 2012, Veldavaya. 10th of December 2012, Hambegamur. 10th of December 2012, Ambalantutta. 10th of December 2012, Ihalayaguta. 18th of December 2012, over 200 dogs suddenly die in Dimbulagala in Polonnarua. Unidentified lights witnessed in Ambalantutta, Monaragala and Veldavaya. Various views begin to circulate about these sightings. Shouldn't proper scientific mechanism be created to explaining these sightings?
All employees of the National Aquatic Resources Research and Development Agency received a bonus yesterday, not exceeding 10,000 rupees. On the 10th of this month, the chairman of NARA, making a statement to Action TV, stated that 18.5 million rupees of the income revenue earned by NARA by providing advisory services to the Colombo Port Expansion Project will be distributed amongst all its employees. This bonus was given in a backdrop where the statement was not converted into action. According to the statement made by the chairman of NARA, quoting its finance division, the amount which remains with NARA after deducting its expenses from over 66 million rupees earned through the project is around 37.5 million rupees. The chairman stated that 19 million rupees from it will be allocated for the development of the authority. Before the 18.5 million rupees were distributed amongst the employees as a bonus, it was necessary to make a compulsory payment from the 37.5 million rupees. That is the compulsory payment which should be made to a group of employees of NARA who directly contributed to the Advisory Services project. Even though the Advisory Services project was completed on the 31st of December last year and the necessary payments have been made to NARA, only an advance of the total amount has been paid up to date to those who were directly involved in the project. Accordingly, the management of NARA had to set aside the attempts made by them on the 13th of this month to pay yet another installment from the complete amount which should be paid to this group of employees. This was because the head of the financial division of NARA, who signed it, did not report to work on that day in order to receive an explanation on the method followed when calculating this installment. In the 8 working days from the aforementioned date to yesterday, the head of the financial division of NARA has reported to work only on 2 days. The payment of bonuses, which was done yesterday and has no connection to the revenue earned through the Colombo Port Expansion Project, has been carried out without any involvement of the head of the finance division of NARA, but with the approval of the board of directors of NARA. Meanwhile, the income expenditure report into the Advisory Services project carried out in connection to the Port Expansion Project, which was not launched during the past 11 months, was handed over to the chairman of NARA yesterday. However, it was 4 days ago that the chairman has requested such a report to be prepared.
In sports news, Director General of Sports Ranjini Jayakodi, in a letter to the Sri Lanka Badminton Association, has said not to obtain the services of Malaysian national Shankar Anamali, who is the Sri Lankan badminton coach.
This was also confirmed by the Chief Executive Officer of the Sri Lanka Badminton Association, Palitha Hettiavachi. The CEO notes that the letter states that as there was no progress in the services of the national coach, his benefits too will be withdrawn. However, the Chief Executive Officer emphasized that it was decided to provide reasons to the Minister of Sports to obtain further services of the national coach at the General Assembly yesterday.
Thank you very much for joining News First Weekend Primetime News today. Good night.